What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, retired, legendary, iconic, Hall of Fame, superstar, 5-division world champion, former pound-for-pound king, pay-per-view king, the man known as Money, Floyd Mayweather Jr., retired, 50 wins with no losses and no draws, no blemish on his resume at all. Floyd Mayweather is now the founder and promoter of Mayweather Promotions, okay? And he promotes some of the biggest fighters in the world, okay? Mainly undefeated 3-division world champion, superstar boxer, Gervonta Tank Davis, okay? So Floyd Mayweather, you know, is a promoter now. He's obviously close relations and business relations with PBC, Premier Boxing Champion, founder and advisor Al Heyman, okay? He works with Steven Espinosa, Showtime president of sports. He did that massive deal with Showtime and Steven Espinosa. And obviously, PBC, they have the biggest stable of big name fighters in the sport of boxing, okay? And the biggest fight between undefeated, 2 top 5 pound for pound best fighters in the world, welterweight undisputed showdown, the biggest fight in the sport of boxing between undefeated, unified 3-belt WBC, WBA, IBF welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, who is widely considered to be top 2, if not number 1, definitely top 5 best pound for pound fighters in the world, and Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr., who is 28 wins, no loss, no draw, 22 big wins by way of knockout. He is 32 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach, and undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO World Boxing Organization welterweight world champion, who is widely considered to be the number 1 best pound for pound fighter in the world, in Terence "Bud" Crawford. Terence Crawford is 38 wins, no losses, no draw, 29 big wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. They make for the biggest fight in the sport of boxing for all the marbles for undisputed, okay? And so with that said, once Terence Crawford, he fought now retired 2-time welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, Showtime Shawn Porter, is a future Hall of Famer, November 20th of 2021, and he got a 10th round stoppage victory. He dropped Shawn Porter twice, and he got the stoppage victory over Shawn Porter. Then Errol Spence, he made his ring return in a unification bout against former WBA welterweight world champion, Cuban star boxer Yordenis Ugas, okay? To which Errol Spence got a 10th round stoppage victory over Yordenis Ugas to pick up the WBA strap. That was April 16th, Arlington, Texas, AT&T Dallas Cowboys Stadium. And once those fights was over, it was obvious what the fans was going to call for. It was or it should have been automatic to see these two guys come to fight, okay? And for all the marbles. Nothing else mattered, okay? So it's the biggest fight, and obviously it's going to garner a lot of attention. Many people are going to want to see this fight, okay? And a lot of speculation is going to start to arise. As I told people, from the moment Errol Spence said that he wanted after the fight, post-fight press conference, and post-fight interview in the ring, he said, "I want Terence Crawford. I'm coming for Terence Crawford. I want his belt. I'm taking his belt." Now, I'm paraphrasing. He used some other words to describe it. But I'm coming for Terence Crawford. I'm taking his belt, right? "I'm taking your belt too." That's what he said, Errol Spence. And then Errol Spence, he put on his social media a picture of him shopping with a list. And on the list, it had the world champions he beat for their belts. Kell Brook at number 1, who he beat in 2017. At number 2 was Shawn Porter, who he beat in 2019. And at number 3 was Yordenis Ugas, who he beat in 2022. Oddly enough, they're 2 years apart, right? So he's been a world champion for 6 years. And he had number 4 on the list, Terence Crawford, and he was searching for Terence Crawford. Then he had a shirt made of the Grim Reaper. He called himself proclaimed the Big Fish. He had a Big Fish shirt with the Grim Reaper, and with that, you know, he had the doors, you know, the same order, but it was just the Grim Reaper at the doors, knocking on everybody's doors, looking to pick up their belts, right? And so Terence Crawford responded. He was in the ocean saying he was looking for the big fish. I don't see a big fish, so on and so forth. And so the amount of attention this fight garnered, okay, got enormous. Okay, it just got absolutely enormous, right? And I told people after that moment, there's going to be a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors and reports as to when the fight is going to happen, what's going on with the fight, what's going on behind the scenes, because there's a lot of momentum for this fight. It's the biggest fight in boxing, okay? And so with that said, one in particular, ESPN and ESPN boxing reporter Mike Coppinger, he reported a few times that the fight was getting close to being done for November 19th, right? And Floyd Mayweather didn't take too kind to that. Now, he did a few interviews to which he stated that, you know, he's close to Al Heyman, which Errol Spence is the A side. And so Al Heyman is the one calling the shots. So he said that he's close to Al Heyman. It's like big brother, father figure, business partner, mentor. And in talking to Al Heyman, okay, and he knows what's going on, the fight is not happening anytime soon, right? And he said, unless I announce it, it ain't happening. To which Errol Spence had responded, and Errol Spence said, I ain't never seen Floyd Mayweather's name on none of my checks. Floyd Mayweather went on to say, if you sign to Al Heyman and the PBC, you sign to Floyd Mayweather, right? And so they built the PBC brand up. At one point in time, Mayweather was fighting under Golden Boy Promotions, okay, with Showtime. That was the promotional company they was using. Now they started the PBC with Al Heyman and TGB, Tom Brown Promotions, okay? And that's where the avenue he's now taking. So he built Al Heyman, you know, and Floyd built up the PBC. And so Floyd's saying, you're not a part of, if you're a part of PBC, you're a part of what I have, right? And so he said he was going to be the one to announce it. And so now ESPN had reported that it was getting close, and both fights was getting close to, you know, agreeing, and that the date was the target date of November 19th. And Floyd Mayweather doesn't believe that to be the case. So Floyd Mayweather goes on this old post, because this is not a new post. This was a few weeks ago that this post was put up by ESPN and Mike Coppinger, right? This is not a recent post, okay? And Mike Coppinger, obviously, like I said, you know, he made the statement that, you know, the fight is getting close, so on and so forth, you know, and this is what Mike Coppinger had to say regarding the fight. He says, Errol Spence and Terence Crawford have agreed to all mutual terms for undisputed welterweight title fight targeted for November 19th, titles in Vegas, okay? In Las Vegas, okay? The deal has not been signed as the parties' lawyers clean up the language in the agreement, okay? This was 3 weeks ago, okay, when Mike Coppinger put this up. So today, Floyd Mayweather decided to respond today. This was 3 weeks ago. Floyd Mayweather responds today, and he says, you guys are great company and have held a great reputation for years, but Mike Coppinger has to stop feeding the boxing world with false information, okay? So essentially, Floyd Mayweather himself is saying that Mike Coppinger is lying, okay? And to that, I will say this. Mike Coppinger is not making up stories. Did what Mike Coppinger say come to fruition? No. Okay? Am I the biggest fan of Mike Coppinger? No. But is Mike Coppinger making up stories? No. I have sources. I don't know if he have the same sources, but they told me the same exact things. And Steven Espinosa, Showtime president of sports, he even confirmed yesterday that the target date was November 19th. And Steven Espinosa even came out yesterday in the same interview and says that he's still hoping for the fight to be confirmed for November 19th. He just said that yesterday, Stephen Espinosa did. Okay? He just reiterated that November 19th is still the target date. So Mike Coppinger saying November 19th is the target date is truth. Okay? He didn't say it was signed. He's now, okay, that Stephen Espinosa said is November 19th. So how did Mike Coppinger make up a story about that? He didn't. Okay? And then when you look at the agreement, now I don't know what Errol Spence agreed to, but I know for a fact that Terence Crawford himself, the horse's mouth himself, told me himself that he had agreed to everything. 65-35 split, no back end money, no guaranteed money, working off a commission, essentially, whatever the pay-per-views do. He just wanted to see the books when it's all said and done. Terence Crawford himself told me this, himself, that he agreed in principle to everything that Errol Spence wanted. So when Mike Coppinger said that both parties, now he said that Errol Spence and Terence Crawford agreed. I don't know if Errol Spence, what Errol Spence has done on his end, but I know Terence Crawford has told me himself that he agreed to everything. And I know that I have been told November 19th, and then Stephen Espinosa came out yesterday and he stated November 19th was the date. So how did Mike Coppinger make up a story? He never said that they signed. He said the lawyers are still going over a wording language in the contracts. Neither fighter has signed. So he never said the fight was signed. He just said that this was the target date and they got close. They were negotiating. Terence Crawford said he's agreed to everything, and Terence Crawford turned around and he told me Errol Spence wants to fight. His team don't want to fight, which means there was language that needed to be cleaned up. So Mike Coppinger didn't make up a story. So with that said, you know, Floyd Mayweather wants to be the one to announce it. He wants to be the one to break the news. And I would just say this, man, that you got to give it up. We know you have a close relationship with Al Heyman and the PBC for sure. We know what you've done in the sport. But to call out Mike Coppinger, and again, I'm not a big fan of Mike Coppinger. Don't defend him. But he's right. What did Mike Coppinger say in this statement that was wrong? Stephen Espinosa confirmed November 19th was the date. So how was Mike Coppinger wrong? This is what he was told. Stephen Espinosa, Terence Crawford himself stated that he agreed in principle to everything. That's what Mike Coppinger said, that both fighters agreed. He never said nobody signed. He just said that they agreed in principle to make the fight. Now, maybe Errol Spence didn't agree. That could be the one wrong thing he said, verbiage in this statement that was wrong, incorrect. But as far as Terence Crawford, he's told me himself he agreed. And as far as the November 19th, Stephen Espinosa, the network itself confirmed that was the target date. So what did Mike Coppinger say that was wrong? We have to stop being so quick to say that, yes, Floyd Mayweather is a massive commodity within the sport of boxing, but he's incorrect with saying that Mike Coppinger is wrong. He's incorrect. Mike Coppinger is not wrong. He told Terence Crawford himself, he's the fighter, that he agreed to everything in principle. Well, that's what Mike Coppinger said. If Stephen Espinosa is saying that the November 19th date was the date they're targeting and still targeting to this day and still wants it, he just said that yesterday, well then, how's Mike Coppinger wrong for saying the November 19th in Las Vegas when Terence Crawford himself also stated that he wants the fight to take place in Las Vegas, in a neutral site? So Las Vegas, the 19th of November, and the agreed upon principle, it's all true. So I personally believe that the fight is not happening. As Floyd Mayweather then came out and said the fight is not happening no time soon, and I don't think it will. But it just sounds like to me that the value of Terence Crawford is not held in high regards. And it also seems to me that Floyd Mayweather is not in agreement with some of the wording in the contracts, because the way he says it is like, it ain't happening, because there's possibly some words in there. He's like, no, we ain't doing that. That's the gifs I get from it. So that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Roll. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.